Duluth city and business leaders talked about what the future holds for downtown. Downtown Duluth is a nonprofit aimed at promoting and supporting the development of the city's downtown area. Tonight, the group held its 40th annual meeting and celebration. The Imagine Downtown initiative was the focus of this year's event. It's a set of goals leaders hope to achieve by 2030, including improved safety and new development.
Looking at the future of downtown Duluth, creating a 5-year action plan, and we're at a really interesting point in the process, and it aligns with the annual dinner, where we have some early ideas around policies, projects, and programs to make downtown Duluth even better.
Tonight's dinner and celebration served as part of the community input process, hearing from people who live, work, and play downtown about what they want to see change. Coming up.